for him down the stretch.
I just feel like when you look at these people that were in the game, they're all top 10 picks in the draft. So they probably saying, oh, this is what we can do if you let us play. And you look at the way Smart kind of kept everybody under control. You know, they had a little problems bringing the ball in, and Smart said, let me take it upon myself to bring it up, get us in position. You look at what Ayton was able to do on the inside. I think Ayton probably knew everybody he was going up against because of all the days in practice. But you look at Nick Smith coming off, Junior coming off the bench, play with no fear. Just going out there and dominate. You know, a couple of shots, I was like, is he? Oh, yes, he did. Oh, he made that.
Yes, he did.
And so that's what you got to have. You got to play with no fear. I talked about playing with, fear, playing fearless and playing with a lot of speed and playing really great. So this was just an exciting game to watch from beginning to end.
I thought this may have been Bronny's best game of his NBA career.
He was awesome tonight.
You know, for a young kid that's been working toward, trying to get more experience, he came in when they needed him. You know, he had some assists.
6.
He had some assists. He had some big rebounds, kept the ball in play, hit a big 3. We talked about this, I think, when Derek was in here. We talked about how he gets to play with, other big-time players. He'll learn more and adjust better. And I think, this is a good game for Bronny as well.
Bronny also hit 2 big free throws. Lakers have now won 4 in a row, 6 out of 7. And I know you guys were getting the same kind of text I was. Who's Nick Smith Jr.? We'll find out right now. Here he is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Nick Smith Jr., what a night for you and your team. As Jackson Hayes comes over to say congrats, as the rest of your teammates did. Look, you knew that you guys were really shorthanded tonight. How were you able to step into that void and execute like you did?
Well, I just wanted to come out here with energy, and Coach JJ and the coaching staff believe in me and believe in this group. No matter who we got, our best players out. Just come out here and compete and win. And I feel like we did that today, and we got to keep it going.
I mean, look, you're on a 2-way. I know you're battling to get a full contract in the NBA like anybody else would, but the main focus being the team. Nonetheless, what does it feel like to come through in a moment like this?
It's big for me, man, especially, having a coaching staff. It just give me the utmost confidence just to go out there and play my game. And, my teammates has definitely done a good job with me, just leading me in the right direction. And, I'm learning a lot, man, and, I'm just happy to be here.
3 short of your career high. Take me through the back-to-back threes in crunch time when Portland was trying to push on you.
I was open. I think Smarty was driving down the lane. He got created too, and I was open. I just took the shot, and the last one, I think it was just a heat check moment. I was open, so I took the shot.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was just going back to the back at halftime. Looked like you got a little sick. How were you feeling? You clearly were able to overcome it, but were you all right?
Yeah, it was no way I was missing this one. Just to get a chance to play, with the guys and get a chance to compete. And I guess I needed it. I don't know. Yeah, it just happened.
All right, Nick. Well, what a job from you. Go enjoy it with your teammates. All right.
Thank you.
Get sick more often, Nick Smith Jr.
Bring up the guy's sickness on TV. He's had a big game.
25 points.
Getting light.
25 points, 10 of 15. He was 5 of 6 from 3. If you look at his box score, he had 8 points in the second quarter, 7 points in the third, 10 in the fourth. Plus minus a +9. The Lakers were 9 points better with him on the floor. And by the way, James, also 6 assists. Game ball goes to a few different guys. He definitely is one of those guys.
Without question. I mean, look, you give players the minutes, and they'll probably produce if you give them the time to play. This guy was in Charlotte, unorthodox, style of dribbling and getting away from you to get his shot off, and perfected it tonight.
He's crafty.
Yeah.
You watch him play, he's got a herky-jerky game, and he gets to his spot. And for me, he played under control. Sometimes when you get hot, you can come out and take a lot of shots. So I'm hot, let me try to go for mine. He stayed in rhythm, and I think the best thing was when Marcus Smart took over and was penetrating to get him easier shots. Because sometimes when you're such a great ball handler like he is, you can try to create and manufacture shots for yourself. But sometimes it's a lot easier to just sit in the corner and take a shot. And I think Marcus Smart did that for him.
You're always so excited in these kind of games because I'm always like, oh, man, no one's playing tonight. And you love it because you always said, I got a lot of sugar back in the days when Shaq and Kobe would play. That was the one thing I'm putting up numbers. When I go to an old arena where I played at, or I used to be on that team, or when the stars are out, time to shine.
Yeah, it's always been a comfortable situation. You look it down the line, you say, okay, A is out, B is out. okay, there's going to be a lot of balls being, especially when you got a team that loves to play with one another. Now, you can sometimes play on a team, the guys that he says, oh, I can get mine because I'm on the contract. You think about this guy, he's on a two-way deal. He could have went out and forced the issue, but he didn't. He let the game come in. And it's so much fun and better because you can really see how good players are. Sometimes we don't understand how much of a backseat some players take. You think of what DeAndre Ayton did when he was in Portland. Everybody like, he didn't put up numbers there, because he had all these other guys trying to get numbers. Tonight, when you go into a guy, he can show you his ability, what he do. You look at Rui. Rui did his thing. Everybody had the opportunity to score. So that lets you know there's a lot of talent on that bench the Lakers have the opportunity to do it.
Hayton, Rui Hachimura and DeAndre Ayton, they combined for 57 points. They hit 24 out of 34 field goals. Did it from the three-point line as well for Rui, 2 for 4. The rebounds for DeAndre Ayton, 10. I want to talk Ayton, big game. Listen, we mentioned this at halftime. This man has gotten so comfortable quickly. And 10 boards.
And 3 blocks.
And 3 blocks.
And 3 blocks. So, he did his job on both ends of the court. He led tonight. Look, we remember him when he was in Phoenix playing well. When he was beside CP3, had an experienced veteran there that knew how to make him play. He gets traded. Didn't work out that well. He's 27 years old, Gator. You don't start peaking. I know Robert peaked when he was like 22, but you don't start peaking until you're like 27 in this league.
I don't think I ever peaked.
Still peaking.
And he's right there right now. He's with a great franchise. A lot of time players, they get with franchises. All the NBA teams, it's a joy to play in the league. But when you get with the right franchise that is a winning franchise, kind of like when Rob came from Phoenix to Los Angeles, it was the right franchise for him. Good teammates, an organization that has history, wants to win, that brings out the best in players. So Ayton's, he's got a lot of years left, and I think he's realized where he is right now with Luka, with LeBron, with the Lakers' history, and he's trying to make the best of it.
You had a conversation with Allie and James in the pregame show, and you said, James, you don't know anything about this because you played with the Lakers your whole career.
Yeah.
But when you go back to a place that you played, like DeAndre Ayton did for Portland, and it didn't go that great, he missed a bunch of games. The team was always in the cellar. You said, you got a little extra something. He had it tonight. Yeah, he came out with a purpose.
And you think about that last play, that statement dunk. I don't think I've ever seen him jump that high. He went up there with a thunderous dunk down the stretch. And for me, when you have the opportunity to go back in the building you play with, had the opportunity to go up against, a franchise that you were in that uniform and it didn't work out the way you wanted to, you want to show them what you could do if you allowed me to do that. And I think with Ayton, he's such a great player. When you look back to when they went to the finals with Phoenix, I think everybody's, it was CP3 and Book that did it. No, this guy averaged 20 and 10, and we forget that. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. Me and Brez had plenty of conversation where I said, no, this is the guy I want. Because you look at the people available, this is the only guy I think that we could use. And it's going to take time for him to be able to understand the organization, for the organization to understand him, because you think about he's not playing with a high flyer dunk. Even though he can do it, he wants to pick and pop and hit that 15-footer. So it's still, in the making of making a good team and understanding each other. But I like DeAndre Ayton. I like what he's done so far for this organization.
You know who's probably proud tonight, big game, watching that game? LeBron James.
Yeah.
I don't know how many texts I got from my kids, everybody. Bronny with the exclamation marks. All right, time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick. Brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
I suppose you have to be proud kind of an effort like that, down so many guys. Where does it start for you? What stands out the most?
I would just say our mentality. You can't win in the NBA without stepping on the floor and expecting to win. And I thought our guys had that from the start. And then that just confidence, belief, and truly connectivity in that second half was just awesome to watch. It was just blossoming. And I thought DA and Rui offensively for us were great all night. But, Nick Smith in the second half he just took the game over. And we needed his handle and we needed his wiggle tonight. And truthfully, it was a perfect game for him. that you play against that team, they're so disruptive. Drew kind of makes up his own rules. They play their small lineup where they switch everything, and so you play a game like that, it turns into, can I beat my man off the dribble, you know? And I thought once our guys stopped trying to just run pick and roll early in the game and just said, no, I'm just going to beat my guy, create the advantage, and then we're going to play from there. And we did that a number of times in the second half.
With Nick Smith, you know, he's on a two-way, and kind of to come through in moments like that, is there any extra that you're kind of also enjoying and watching and rooting for him, or not you're locked into the game, but just the way his teammates are embracing him and kind of the
I mean, that's what I mean by the connectivity. We got a good group. I'm excited about this group and what we could potentially be. I'm excited about the group, and his teammates loved it. The bench was awesome tonight. Our huddles were awesome. Just again, expecting to believe, or expecting that we're going to win. I thought our guys had that all night.
There was, after opening night, there was like a lot of discussion about like, we've got to figure out how we're going to play hard the way that we did last year. That was like a part of our DNA. Like, it's going to take time. Here you are, like, 7 games later, and it feels like pretty much like in your team's bloodstream already. Like, how did it happen so quickly?
I would say I've told the team this a number of times throughout the preseason and early in this season, that the best teams are always going to be player-led. And so those guys holding each other to that, that's why I say, like, those huddles, the communication on the court, all those small interactions, they're really valuable. And the guys are holding each other accountable to that. And then as a coaching staff, you have to get buy-in to that, and our guys are bought in. I think we talk about it as a group all the time. Like, you can't win in this league unless you play hard. It's impossible now. And these guys have just been awesome for the last 7 games.
There's a certain amount of offensive sacrifice that just comes into like having to play in this league, and like the good shots are threes and layups traditionally, but like, you've got guys on your team like Rui Hachimura is a really good mid-range shooter.
He doesn't miss from the mid-range.
DeAndre Ayton's a post-up player sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it felt like tonight, like all like the bad shots were good shots for your group. What was it like kind of watching that type of offense?
Yeah, again, you have to look at it's two things. You have to look at, over the course of an 82-game season, what type of shots are you trying to generate? What is the most value? How do you get good shots? How do you create an advantage? And then on a night like tonight, how do we put the ball in the basket? How do we get a shot up? How do we run something that's in the semblance of organization? And the guys just for the last 3 quarters did that at a really high level.
You guys were in a very similar position exactly a week ago. What did you see the biggest difference defensively from your group from last Monday to today?
They got a lot of the same stuff. They 15 offensive rebounds and 26 second chance points. So I guess a little bit better. I thought overall, though, just outside of a few personnel things, Grant, getting to his left hand for an and one in the first half. Abdi is he's a bull, getting to his right hand. And then we had some great shifts and some great on-ball stuff where we were really dialed into personnel. That's what we told the group before the game. Like, this is a personnel game. Similar to last night, it's a personnel game. This is not a how do I guard this action game. It's how do I guard my guy. And